and puts them in a good position to even try and catch up to the Peeps, who aren't too far ahead at the moment.
Yeah, Alpine, they need to start getting some wins against those top teams. The reason that the Peeps and KCP got into that spot ahead of them in the standings is because they have done that. They've actually beaten the top teams a few times each, but Alpine are just like the Loco 2.0. They beat everybody else below them, but they never seem to be that much of a threat, or at least not a consistent threat. They have beaten Space Station Gaming in the upper bracket already, but they'll need to go one further here or make a lower bracket run if they want to get into that top 6, which is where they want to be. And it's not got a good start for them here. JNAPS open to scoring. The shot was just simply good enough here after Chicago's pass.
Yeah, that's a lovely disguised pass from Chicago, just flopped straight back over. More of that, please, G2, if we are going to see them return to form in this tournament. And by that, we don't mean necessarily that G2 are playing bad. It's just this is the Season 9 North American Regional Champions.
Oh.
They would have expected themselves to have taken at least one by now.
Yeah, they are going into the season one of the big 4 teams, as everybody likes to call them. But if you look at the point standings, there is no big 4. It really is just big 3, and then G2 are below them. But that could change still. There's a long way to go yet. They're off to a phenomenal start here. And I've got to agree with Gibbs Shogun that this is kind of just G2 against G2. If G2 play well for this entire series, they don't even have to play phenomenally. They just have to play well. I don't see Alpine beating them. I don't think Alpine have shown us enough throughout this season for me to predict them having a chance against any of the big teams who are playing well.
And that's definitely not a slight against Alpine. It's just...
No, they're solid.
We've said this every single time we've casted G2. It's just how they are as a team. It's the way they like to play. It's pretty much PvE when it comes to them being on the field.
They're a free play team. When they play well, it looks like they're just training. The other teams don't matter. And Alpine don't really take enough risks, I think, in order to put G2 in uncomfortable positions. They're a very, very careful team. They're a very, very safe team. And being able to take risks when you know that you've got a decent reward chance in them, that's something that all the top teams do. Oh, what a play. JNAPS with the reset into Rizzo. Now Chicago with an open, actually saved to the recovery. Alpine with a good scramble there in defense.
If Alpine are going to make something of this game 1, that will be certainly the way to start it, keeping that ball out of the net. Well, this offense has just been all G2 so far. Up go Chicago. And so difficult to play against so far in game number 1. Back infield, JNAPS levers it. And there is nothing to do. This is the G2 that we have got used to seeing. The question has always been, can they bring that to a championship Sunday? Right now, on the Saturday, they look above and beyond what Alpine are capable of.
Yeah, great passing by G2. They are moving the ball into the center extremely quickly, and that means that the shots are coming in uncontested. But Alpine are not defending the right way against G2. You need to pressure G2. You can't just sit back and let them come at you, because G2, when they're playing well, when they're not just literally missing the ball every now and then, they just score. They know how to do this better than anybody. Once you get into the final third, G2 are terrifying to play against, and it's up to Alpine to get some ball pressure, because right now they have absolutely none. They have no pressure on the ball whenever G2 are coming forward.
No, what we're looking for right now is just good passing options, even a good clear. I think that's the starting point of trying to take on G2, is making sure that those chances that you have to get out your inside the field are taken. There's going to be a good shot. And the first opportunity that Alpine have got, they have managed to get a goal from.
What an assist here by Magic there.
Fair play.
I mean, he was trying to hit this one low, but I don't think he was trying to hit it that low. It's actually gone backwards into his teammate who was playing third man. And no way can G2 read that one. I mean, we talked about this in the last series. Unpredictability is how you score these days in Rocket League a lot of the time. And that was about as unpredictable as you can get.
One of the matches as well that has a lot of implications towards that top 6 currently happening over on the Rocket RB. Our sister stream for this tournament, Rogue against KC Pioneers. Both teams sitting around 900 to 950 points. Both teams that are definitely in direct competition right now with Alpine. But G2, they are in a different competition entirely, looking at the way this game is going.
Yeah, Jordan merely a spectator in that play. JNAPS beats him to the ball by about a month. That was like 2021 aerial there from JNAPS compared to the defense. But Alpine will just have to come out with a different game plan in the second game of the series. This is kind of what I was afraid of for Alpine, that they just don't really apply a lot of pressure. They're a very defensive team, and against G2, yes, it can work if G2 decide to beat themselves. But if G2 don't decide to beat themselves, which is, by the way, the majority of the time what happens, they're still a very good team, then what are you going to do? You're going to defend on your goal line against G2? I don't think so. Nobody can.
I think this is a strategy we would recommend to every single team to try for a minute or two. Let's see if it's happening for you, and then immediately abandon it.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you see all 3 players in G2 actually hit the ball when they try to, that's when you abandon the strategy. You say, okay, Chicago, Rizzo, and JNAPS, they have all made contact. So let's just actually put some pressure on them, because they're clearly not missing today. It's as simple as that. If G2 don't whiff in the first few seconds, they're probably on form, and they're in their team house right now, as far as I'm aware. So not likely to be making too many mistakes.
Ooh, a bit of a miss there for Magic Bear. Only a 3-goal lead, though, over to G2 in a game that they have never looked like dropping. Chicago is going to miss that one. But just where is the goal going to come from? Maybe it can come from this.
Oh.
Percy, he's backed down. He waited for the whiff, and he did get what he wanted. Alpine didn't try and take that immediately. Still G2 struggling to get out of their own side of the field. That's going to drop down very nicely. 2 players both up. Magic Bear unchallenged. And with 20 seconds left, Alpine have got a slight chance at this one.
Yeah, really good play there in offense at the end of the game. Magic Bear had the guts to move in there quickly, just make sure that he can get a shot on net before the defense recover. I would have liked to see Percy do the same thing in the previous play. He didn't have faith in the bump coming through. Now a fake kickoff for Alpine. Love that, because they need 2 goals here. And this is at least a chance for the first one. That G2 should be okay. They've got boost in all 3 of their players, and they've got rid of the ball.
Yeah, that is going to be the end of this. Although a little bit of hope if you're Alpine after seeing how G2 was scrambling in their own side of the field towards the end there, especially for that second goal. So I think our analysis pretty much comes down to this, Johnny. Alpine, abandon strategy A, go for Operation Full Send.
Yeah, they really do just have to go for it here. I don't see them winning this series. I could see them taking a game. Maybe they could take it into game 5 if they're lucky. But I don't see them winning if they just played as defensively as they are. They need to get some pressure on G2. And I'm not talking about, battering the G2 backboard with the ball repeatedly. I don't think that's really going to be an option. What I mean is actually challenging the ball. We saw so many fake challenges from Alpine in this matchup. Defenders backing off and waiting for G2 to come at them. That doesn't really work against G2. G2 are extremely, extremely good at getting those plays into positions that the defense can't handle.
Yeah, certainly so. And I want to highlight Chicago, just how well he is playing at being that playmaker for the team, taking the ball into the other side of the field and just slicing it directly over to one of his teammates. So more of that from Chicago will be certainly necessary, especially if they do make it through this, end up taking on NRG. And it will be a very good way as well for them to sort of change the narrative around them, G2. They've got to look good here. We already know how well NRG played earlier on. But one good day and beating NRG in that best of 5, put yourself through in a very nice position tomorrow. Will change the narrative around you very, very quickly.
Oh yeah, certainly G2 will be in with a shot in that next round against NRG. But to be honest, it doesn't really matter what G2 do in this series. They could win every game 10-0. I would still predict NRG to beat them in the next round, because G2 have been struggling once they make it into the deeper end of the brackets and deeper end of the Swiss stages and playoffs in RLCS regional events. NRG have not. They've been far more consistent. G2 against this kind of competition, good to go. Again, they have the better start in the matchup. They are getting multiple free hits in the final third. And when G2 get free uncontested touches, they score goals.
I like very quickly just how good that shot is from JNAPS, especially regarding the way G2 play. That shooting accuracy always has to be on point for them, because if it isn't, well, they've committed all 3 to give themselves that opportunity off the backboard. And whilst it isn't the easiest shot in the world, that one is maybe a little bit easier for Chicago. It's something that they've got to make, and that is a 2-goal lead within the first minute.
Oh,
and take a look at where that defense. Take a look at where that line is for.
Oh dear.
For Alpine, how far back they are. And midfield is free for G2.
Well, that looks like Alpine are just about ready for the lower bracket, I would say. I don't know what they're going to do now because G2 are having such an easy time in this matchup. No pressure on them. They're scoring with ease. That was a third-man challenge for G2, which has worked out, by the way. They're just kind of showing Alpine, look how confident we are with our challenge game compared to you guys running away to your goal on every single play. So, yeah, just not seeing it, Shogun. It's exactly what we expected so far from the series. Alpine, just not enough of a threat and not able to handle G2's offense.
Waiting for them in the lower bracket for whichever team does lose this series is the Sonics. So definitely a landmine team. Not an easy one for either of them as Magic Bear.
Look at the space! Wow, why is Rizzo uncontested? What is happening here?
We're just going to have a Johnny Rant go.
He's just driving in slow motion into the Alpine half and nobody's doing anything about it. They've just got to flip into the ball at some point. You can't just let G2 drive into your half like this and fake a bunch of challenges. G2 are not going to care about your fake challenges. They're just going to play their game. They're not looking at what Alpine are doing. It has to be a massive game plan change here. Risks need to be taken. And like you said in the break, Alpine just have to send it right now. They don't have the confidence.
I don't know if it's a risk at this. I would consider letting a team like G2 walk into your side of the field a little bit more risky than challenging them.
Absolutely. I mean, it's their win condition. I'm not saying that they need to take a risk here. It's the only way they're going to win, is if they actually just go for this and see what happens. You know, if you get counter-attacked by G2 because you've overextended, fair enough. At least you've tried. At least you've tried to give them something to think about. But, well, yeah, what Alpine are doing right now is not going to cause G2 any problems.
And it's, you know, no matter what the result is here, you've got to play again today. You at least want to go in. We've heard, you know, pros talk previously about a warm-up game. I would not consider Alpine warm if they lose this one. They barely really got a chance to start playing.
Yeah.
Sonics would certainly be very happy with that. Magic Bear wants to find himself another challenge. Better here so far by Alpine, but it has to be. They're the team that are 2 goals down. They're the team running out of time.
Ooh.
And there it is. All 3 blue cards are in the other side of the field. Clip it. There we go.
Yeah, unfortunately, nobody was in the middle when the ball arrived there, though. Rizzo was
baby steps,
in an uncomfortable position, but no shooter was there. It's just gone across the face of the box. G2 just have done enough here to feel like they can just wait for the rest of this game to be over. And here comes a 3rd goal. Chicago will put it in with a little extra touch there for some spice on top of what was already a guaranteed goal. Just a clean win there. JNAP's looking speedy here, beating Alpine to the ball. G2 are sweeping. I think it's likely at this point. Be surprised if anybody is not expecting a sweep win.
Currently one person who is very unhappy, and I don't know if they're going to let Turtle back into the G2 house. He was very alone with that Alpine prediction over on the desk.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I don't see it myself. I have no idea how anybody can predict Alpine to beat G2 right now. They just don't win series like this.
He's ringing on doorbell at the moment. Maybe someone will let him in. I don't think they're just going to leave him out on the street as we do get ourselves 1 goal. I'm entirely sure how this one managed to come to fruition, but we didn't have a chance to see it.
Well, he said it was G2 against G2.
Oh, there we
there's
go.
your proof. That's why this match may as well be G2 against G2, because as long as G2 don't drive into one another, as long as they don't completely miss the ball, they're going to win here. It's as simple as that. But in that play, G2 literally had both of their defenders drive into one another. And yes, Alpine can probably score in a 3v1, but in a 3v3, it's not going to work. And this is the thing that makes me a little bit frustrated watching this matchup, is because I know that all the Alpine players are very good individually. I know they've got a ton of potential, but they just don't have the confidence.
JNAP's mate, that is great.
Them. That is just disrespectful by JNAP's. A little bunny hop over the pump, and then a successful challenge on the dribble.
Oh, Magic Bear's misread it.
Easy.
Rizzo, when is he going to get one? It's always been Rizzo's way whenever we've had these sort of series that everyone seems to get 6 or 7 goals, and he has 6 or 7 assists, but no goals himself.
Yeah, always nice pass, Rizzo. Always nice save, Rizzo. Will he get a nice shot as well? I'm always rooting for Rizzo to get a nice shot. But it's not necessary. With JNAP's playing as fast as he is in offense today, Rizzo doesn't really need to do a lot in the final third. He just needs to play consistently. We saw one big mistake there at the end of the game, but it was already too late. Alpine were trailing by too many goals, and G2 get another fairly comfortable win in the matchup as expected. Now, you know, I said Alpine might be able to take a game here if they're lucky, maybe two, but I want to see a massive change up here from them. I just want to see them go completely all in, because if they play another game like this, waiting for G2 to beat themselves, they're just asking to lose. They're just asking to get swept. There is a chance that G2 might beat themselves. We do see that occasionally, but that's not a style that Alpine should really be practicing. That's not a style that wins tournaments. It's not a style that will get them a deep run in this regional. They need to actually take some risks here. They need to play with aggression. They need to play with confidence and stop hesitating on their challenges.
Yeah, and it's a style that they need to find that can take them into that top 6. You know, Rogue and KC Pioneers are going to do them a favor no matter what. One of those teams has to drop down to the lower bracket. But you've still got to outperform them this tournament. You've got to get more points. And wins in positions like this, in this sort of matchup, just the 1 or 2 throughout the season can do so much good for your hopes of getting through to that World Championship. But so far, have not been able to show that they're capable of anything like that. Get ourselves into game 3. Are we going to see that performance right now? Or is this simply going to be far too easy for G2 Esports? For Chicago, everything's easy right now. He's taking on the entire team. Another immediate challenge. Look how well G2 are spreading out. Nowhere truly available to clear the ball over to. Jordan just really wants that challenge from JNabs. Did end up happening. Rizzo far too quick, though, on the follow-up. And there we go. Chicago and JNabs playing the ball over to each other. It's a slight misplay. This man right here be able to get himself a goal. Rizzo still on the hunt.
Yeah, Rizzo would love to
Where's Jordan? He's on his way back. There was no real belief there that his team could win that challenge.
Yeah, the faith is just gone for Alpine. It's understandable after 2 games that have totally fallen flat for them. But let's see if they can get anything out of this one. G2 so far haven't been able to dominate in offense like they did in the previous 2 games, especially in the start of the previous 2 games. So it's the best opening minute for Alpine, but still just as unsuccessful in creating chances for themselves. JNabs is just having such a good time in this lobby. Every single time he gets onto the ball, he takes it past at least one Alpine player. Look at that shot as well. Jordan deflects it nicely into the corner. Now Alpine on the counter-attack. Chicago challenges so early, though, that there's an easy save for the goalkeeper at G2. That is exactly what Alpine need to start doing in their defensive side.
Oh, that's going to drop down over to Percy.
Well played.
And that is going to be Alpine up there with the lead. A very aggressive stance taken for the rebound. And they get the reward for it.
JNabs just panicked there. I'm not sure if he was expecting a 50-50 to be happening, but as we can see, he did have a free touch, which should have gone straight into the corner, not into the center of the box. So a bit of a mistake there for G2, but it was forced. It was under pressure. Alpine actually making a second goal. I think here it is, a G2 mistake again that nets them a goal.
Magic Bear just watches JNabs go by, and suddenly that's an easy enough goal for him. Well, G2 have G2'd this one.
They have royally G2'd this. JNabs with a couple of blunders. I mean, the first one was forced. It was an uncomfortable position. The second one, I don't know what happened. He just totally missed the ball. But, he said that this can happen. G2 can beat themselves. I don't think it's likely to happen 3 games in a row. That's why I don't think that Alpine should expect that to happen and continue to play the same way. But it's happening now. Okay, there we go. That's a game. So Alpine in a very strong position with half the game gone.
You can currently see Turtle over in our green room. He's completely deafened at the moment. Will he? If we get to see maybe another game after this for Alpine, will we see that undo itself, as this could be number 4. And it's going to be an opportunity for G2. Chicago unable to quite play it past. Now Rizzo on his way up.
That's better.
More proactive though. Yep, meeting him in midair. Don't allow it to happen for free.
Yeah, Magic Bear didn't waste any time on that challenge, and he came from Rizzo's blind spot as well. That's what Alpine need to keep doing. Even though they're 3 goals ahead here, we don't want to see them just park the bus on the goal line and let G2 have space and let G2 have the ball uncontested. They need to keep on diving in. There we go now. Percy's going to do it. It looks like the confidence is rising for Alpine. They're starting to close the gap, and they're starting to contest G2's plays before it gets into the shooting lane.
G2 go for what they thought could work best there. That was the infield passing play, but much more aggressive line being taken defensively. Working a lot better here for Alpine. Will this give them the confidence to come back with a very unlikely reverse sweep, especially given what we saw in the opening 2 games? Only time will tell on that, but more importantly, time very much up against G2 here in game 3. Looking for that backboard. Percy already able to meet it. Will he get the recovery he wants? Not quite. And that is going to allow G2 to start moving forward. That's another great play. Magic Bear, he's going to want to see more of this. His transitions out of his own side of the field looking very good. Jordan's up meeting it in the midfield, in midair. And the question starts to get asked here, Johnny, now that we're seeing it. Obviously, we like to. Why not earlier? Why not do it when you're 0-0 in the series as it goes off the backboard? All 3 players committed for the save. Rizzo's going to get one here. Oh. He's off the backboard one more time. And it will always be nice pass, Rizzo, as JNaps brings it back.
Well, you know, the pass might have been a good idea. Maybe it was the best play. I'm not sure. I think the top corner was open, to be fair. But it is a nice pass, and G2 get one on the board here. It's a good question that you had, though. Why do Alpine wait for G2 to throw away a couple of goals before they step up the aggression and start to challenge them with confidence? I don't know. I would have loved to see that right.
But yeah, you're completely right. This game as well.
Yeah, as soon as JNaps missed that one ball that led to Alpine being 2-0 ahead, that actually upped the aggression of Alpine. They had a 2-goal lead, and now they started actually challenging the ball. And G2 have not had uncontested aerial plays. They've not had a ton of time to set up all their plays. And now they've ran out of time. One last chance for G2. It's a good pass, but it's too slow. JNaps ahead of the ball, and G2 have lost game 3. And I do say that on purpose. G2 have lost game 3. Alpine put in their best goal yet, but we need to see them from the start of the game, from 0-0, start to play with a more aggressive stance in defense. If they can do that, then they have a chance here. They have a chance against G2, not just against G2, but against pretty much anybody. Just like we said earlier in the series, all 3 players in Alpine are very gifted. They're a very, very talented team. They've got tons of potential, but it's that confidence that's been lacking in these even matchups. They're just playing as if they're afraid to lose. And then when they're put on the back foot, when they're already 1 foot out of the door into the lower bracket, now they've stepped it up here and they're starting to attack the ball. That is the kind of confidence, the kind of aggression that we need to see from the start of game 4.
So has that previous game given them the confidence, though, to maybe go and grab themselves another one? We're going to find out in just a moment. For G2, game plan's pretty simple. Don't do that. Hit the ball. As always, it never changes whenever we've ever seen a G2 loss. Feels like we always have the exact same talking points.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to say, isn't it? Just don't miss.
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm on this side of the commentary box, okay?
I mean, you're not wrong. Not missing is a good idea in general, unless it's, you know, an actual purposed miss, like with a nice little faking quick chat or two. I can guarantee you JNaps missed the lead to G2's second goal that they conceded was not on purpose in the last game. And that's given Alpine hope. And they need to do it all over again here twice in a row. And, you know, outside of the 1 or 2 mistakes that G2 made in the last game, they have looked really good today. So Alpine need to keep it going.
Yeah, both teams, obviously, in comparison to the teams that are waiting for them. Winner taking on NRG, loser up against the Sonics. It's going to be Magic Bear. This is obviously a lot more of what we want to see from Alpine. Looks like they are willing to at least have a shot at it here. Who's that over to? Chicago easily able to intercept the infield pass. Percy over to Magic Bear. Not quite available, but that midfield area is being contested an awful lot more here by Alpine. Rizzo, 9 boost. He'll try and prove that he's got at least 90. Over off the backboard. Double tap attempted, and Percy reads it first time around. Half volley clear back into the midfield. Jordan probably wants to leave this for Magic Bear. That's a lovely second touch. JNAPS had all the time in the world, though. Percy read it very late, and that's going to allow the continued offense.
Ooh.
And it was a hesitation that allowed G2 to keep this going.
Yeah, just a bit of an unlucky 50-50 there for Alpine. Oh boy, did Rizzo attack that ball with some speed. That is brilliant from G2. That's the one aspect of the series that they have really been dominating in. Whenever a ball bounces up high into the middle of the field, they attack it. They don't hold back, and they've got the opening goal. Oh my goodness, an elimination mid-air. Opened the net up, but the ball's hit the bar. Alpine gave it a good shot there. Oh, if the bump's coming in, you've got to hit the target on that play.
Now Percy looking to try and just put that right out of their minds. Get themselves back onto offense, but you've got to deal with Chicago. There's a red-hot Chicago at the moment. Probably a nice shot, Rizzo, separating the two teams here in game number 4. Chicago drops that one down yet again. G2 not willing to press that far forward. Sentence I get to very rarely say. Rizzo just waiting for his opportunity. Now he looks for the goalkeeper. Percy in a very awkward spot here. Still able to recover just in time to keep that ball away. But is he going to be able to keep this one out? Absolutely not. JNAPS somehow finds a rocket shot.
Yeah, Percy did not realize JNAPS was that ready to tackle him in that position. But, you know, you should know, G2 will always have a player ready to challenge you quickly. Doesn't matter how far back in your corner you are, how safe you feel, G2 are still going to be attacking those positions, and JNAPS played the shot to perfection. 2-0 G2. And that's a pre-jump for Percy, actually. That's one way to beat G2 to the ball. Chicago plays it very, very safe in defense. Now JNAPS actually has to collect his own back pass after accidentally hitting it into the bar, but still no problems for G2. They've played extremely calmly in that last defensive play.
G2, third goal probably seals this. I'm looking for it too much, though. Jordan, oh, that is not the touch he was after. Trying to scramble to keep this play going, and fair play to him. He's done a decent job of it. Back to the corner now for Alpine. Where do you create a chance from here? Well, apparently you don't. G2 Esports, far too good with their midfield challenges, and now they look for that third. Drops out to the midfield. Rizzo will be unchallenged. Kind of scuffs the shot. But it's also one of those times where the lack of power that you put on the shot makes life very difficult for the defense because they can't get the power on the clear.
Yeah, they're just kind of stuck at the moment. Alpine knew this would be a big part of the game. Every time that you play against G2, you have to accept that they will just keep you in your final third of the field for a good portion of it. And finding ways to clear the ball is kind of like a mini game when you go up against G2 as well. Alpine got a team 50-50 there to clear it on that last play. They need to be creative, mixing up the hard clears with dribbling plays and 50-50s. Those are kind of the three main ones, with the occasional pass as well. Oh, what a dunk! Jordan managed to get it in off the bar after dunking on 2 G2 players. That is a huge solo play.
That's half the job done for Alpine. They've now got 59 seconds to use that goal as a catapult to get themselves back into this game and back into this series.
Oh, here comes again. Rizzo is going to attack this one early.
Brilliance.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as Rizzo saw Jordan jumping up again, he says, nah, we're not going to wait until he gets to our goal this time, not get dunked on a second time. It's a really good challenge there by Rizzo, blocking the shot before it got into a dangerous position. That's some nice defense by Percy. Now a chance maybe on the counter for Percy and Magic Bear, but it's shut down again by Rizzo, who is denying Alpine at the halfway line.
Here is Jordan. Turtle talks so much about how he thought this player was underrated when it came to his mechanical ability. He's only showed it with that goal, but he could do with providing at least one more now. Jordan now tasked with trying to challenge Chicago. Very difficult task to oblige to. And that's a miss actually from Percy. They don't need that. Running out of time here are Alpine. Chasing this one down. Jordan gets it uncontested. Bounces on up to Percy to find them a chance off the backboard. And there's going to be nobody available to try and take it. Rizzo clears the lines. And Rizzo, oh, wait a minute. I thought he was going to put that straight down. Long clear over to Chicago. Drops it one more time, though. And that will finally be job done for G2 Esports.
Yeah, and a fairly routine win for G2. I say that because, You never have a G2 win without a bit of a scare, you know, a little bit of a throw. They do like to give their opponents hope every now and then. And Alpine did have a little bit of hope after that game 3 where G2 just beat themselves. You know, we talked about it. It's always a possibility. And it happened. But talking a bit more about Alpine, I still think that they'll be the favorites in the lower bracket against Sonics, just by a small margin. They should have the edge in that matchup, even though Sonics have been improving recently. But when Alpine get another shot at playing against one of the top teams in the region, they need to go all in. The teams that are up and coming, that give the top teams the most trouble, are the ones who just ball chase with zero IQ and no hesitation. I think it's because they're thinking too hard. They're trying to play, a perfect game with no mistakes, that they're not really playing an unpredictable style, and G2 are just beating them to every single